In last week's video, we left Durango, crossed over the Continental Divide, and we reached Alamosa, Colorado, and stayed the night for the first time in a Walmart. Alamosa is about 40 minutes from the Great Sand Dunes National Park, which is one of the national parks on our list to visit during our park circuit trip.
Yeah, wait here, I'm gonna walk around. Wait. So it's almost 7 o'clock. Last night we stayed at that Walmart. It was relatively quiet. It wasn't bad. First night staying in a Walmart parking lot. A couple people joined us throughout the night. There's a trailer over there that wasn't here when we parked. Neither was the one in the back. That one van was. The second van was not. That RV was. Then there's us. Then there is another truck with a little trailer, and there's a van over there. So, Piper and I have already walked around. We're going to Walmart, get some vegetables. We're doing Great Sand Dunes today and staying in this area again tonight. And then tomorrow we're going to be heading up to our next national park. We're going to be there for about 4 or 5 days doing campgrounds.
After doing a little bit of grocery shopping, it's time to pack up the van, wake up Chris, and head over to the national park. When we first enter a national park, we like to stop at the main sign for a selfie. Then we head through the gates. On this day, they weren't checking passes or requiring an entrance fee. After passing through the gate, we head to the visitor center. The Visitors Center shows a 20-minute video explaining the region's geology and history. There are many interactive exhibits and displays, as well as a gift shop here. Behind the Visitors Center is a quarter-mile sand sheet loop trail through the glass plains. We were able to stamp our National Park passport book here and purchase a patch as well. While we were walking around, a ranger talk started, so we decided to join the group. The Great Sand Dunes area was once a huge lake. Over time, the water naturally reduced, leaving behind the bottom layer of the sand dunes on the valley between two mountain ranges. The closest mountain range is the Sangre de Cristo Mountains to the east, and then to the west, about 65 miles, are the San Juan Mountains. See the haze off in the distance? That is sand, dirt, and other particles caught in the wind making their way to the dunes. Those are the San Juan Mountains. Those are the mountains that we drove through to get here, in which we crossed over the Continental Divide. After the ranger talk, we jumped back in the van and drove a mile down the road to the parking lot for the dune field. Dogs are allowed on the dunes, but it was hot, and for Piper's safety, we kept her in the air condition. Many people were walking around us holding snowboards, or actually I should say sandaboard. A popular activity to do here is to hike up the dunes and sandboard down. Hiking the sand field is very demanding and frustrating because each step plunges your foot down into the sand a few inches and slides your foot backwards a bit, making forward movement slow and tedious. When the snow melts from the mountains, the landscape here looks different since it becomes filled with running creeks. It's also more wildlife appears, as well as some vegetation. The sand is actually very colorful. The sand grains consist of over 200 types of rock and minerals. One of the minerals in the sand is called magnetite. It is actually magnetic, and if you were to hold a magnet over the sand pieces, it would cling to the magnet. Looking through the sand here and sweeping across the back where the dunes are, if you see what looks like black dust mixed in with the sand, that's actually particles of the magnetite. This is a magnet with the magnetite pieces of rock clinging to it that the ranger showed us during the talk. It is very windy here, but that is what makes this area unique and helped form the sand dunes. Super strong southwest winds come from the San Juan Mountains, carrying more sand into the sand-filled Valley Floor, while high storm northeasterly winds from the Sangre de Cristo Mountains keep the sand in the valley floor, but also carry more sediment, pebbles, and rougher grains. Therefore, the dunes are continuously being blown back onto themselves, creating the dune field. It was so windy that Chris's water bottle started to play music. It started to become hotter, and after being pelted by sand for a while, we felt gross and wanted to relax in the cold and find a shower. So instead of spending the night again in the Walmart parking lot, we traded in credit card points for a one-night stay in a hotel. Piper was very dirty after playing at a campground and walking around parking lots, so she got her shower first. You're such a good girl, Piper. Here's some treats. After dinner, the temperature cooled down, and we decided to grab sweatshirts and head back to the dune field to watch the sunset. This video is in slow-mo so that you can really see and appreciate how much the sand moves from the wind. At this time in the evening, it was even more windier than earlier in the day. We had an amusing time giggling and laughing trying to get our sweatshirts on since the wind kept pushing them up over our heads. At the ranger talk we saw earlier in the day, he said that most the wind's been clocked at was 60 miles per hour.
40 miles per hour wind. You probably can't hear us over the wind. It wasn't like this morning when we were here. So we're getting ready to leave the hotel. Just packing up the van. Today's going to be another travel day. Since we went to the Great Dunes last night to watch the stars and the sun setting, we didn't get back until about 10:30. Usually Chris and I try to be in bed around 9, so it's pretty late for us. But I slept okay. Piper started getting me up around 5:15. Hungry. So we're gonna load up the van. Are you ready to get back on the road? Look at all this space she had in here, Piper. We have a special toy for her when we're in the hotels, so that she knows it's playtime. Can't find where I put it right now. We're packing up and getting ready to go. We're gonna go to Rocky Mountain National Park. It's about 4.5 hours from here. It's going to be cold up there. It's going to be, the high is going to be low 60s, and it could get down to 35. We store our extra water and items on the floor of the shower or bath. We stay at the Hampton Inn. They give you a little continental breakfast, so I grabbed 2 apples for us to eat later. Alright, we're leaving Alamosa and heading to, finally, it's what, 10:40 a.m.? It's a 4.5 hour drive time. Obviously, we're going to eat lunch in there, walk Piper, do a few things, so maybe 6 hours to get in there. But today's travel day, then we'll park or check into our campground for Rocky Mountain National Park. This would be 4th national park for this trip? Yes. Piper's ready to go. And I don't know what's happening to my face, but today I'm not wearing any sunscreen. I normally don't because it makes my face sting, but I have these red blotchy dry skins on there, so we'll see what's going on. The temperature here is 84 degrees. As we get higher towards the Rocky Mountains, it's gonna go down and down. I think the high this week is supposed to be in the mid-60s? Mid-70s? Okay, that's higher than when we looked a couple weeks ago. And then the low could get down to 35. So we're gonna try not to use the heat. We'll see how we do.
We need to find our way over to Highway 285 North, then to US 24 West, and start the climb in elevation to US 34 East, to our campground in Grand Lake, Colorado, just outside of the Rocky Mountain National Park. We'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and leave comments. Take care.